Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Vijay Patel and I am your 1099 tax coach. I'm recording this video on July 5th, 2026. I hope you all had a fun and safe 4th of July weekend. Today's video covers one of the most frequently asked questions, and that is how to complete Form W-9. This form is used um, by companies to issue a 1099 at the end of the tax year. So if you are getting hired as a consultant or a contractor by a company, you want to make sure that you properly complete this form and give it to them so that accordingly they can issue you a Form 1099 at the end of the tax year. On the flip side, if you are onboarding a contractor or consultant, you want to make sure that you obtain a completed copy of this form and keep it for your file so you then can issue a 1099 to them at the end of the tax year. Now, we will cover 5 different scenarios as listed on your screen while completing the form for each of these scenarios. Now, very first scenario is completing the form as a sole proprietor. This is applicable when you have not created any kind of legal entity and you are simply operating your business under your own name. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is the form W-9. As you can see, is a very simple one-page form, but it can get very complicated and confusing for a lot of people. So as we discussed, we're going to review the form, review how to complete the form under scenario 1, which is as a sole proprietor. You will simply, in line 1, you will simply enter your name. Now, on line 2, if you have obtained a DBA, you will enter that here. This is just an example. Whatever the case, if you have obtained a DBA, you will enter that here. If you have not obtained a DBA, or if you're not operating a business under any kind of fictitious name, then you will obviously leave line 2 empty. Under line 3A, you will check the box that says individual or sole proprietor. You don't have to worry about line 3B as it is only applicable under certain situation. Line 4B deals with backup withholding and exemption from Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. Now, these scenarios are beyond the scope of this video, so I'm not going to cover this as it will be applicable in very small percentage of cases. But if this does apply, or if one of these scenarios do apply to you, I would highly recommend that you work with a professional to complete this. But in more than 95% of the cases, you will going to be falling under one of these 5 cases. So that's what we're going to cover. Line 3B is not going to be applicable under sole proprietorship. Under line 5, you would enter your address. You don't have to worry about the account number. This is your account number with the company that you are contracting or consulting with. If you not required, you can leave that empty. This is the name and address of the person or entity requesting a Form W-9 for you. Again, optional, not required. I would leave that empty. Under part 1, you have to enter either your social security number or your employer ID number. If you have obtained a federal employer ID number or FEIN, I would enter that here over your social security number. But let's assume in this case that you have not obtained any kind of federal ID number. And in that case, you will simply enter your social security number. Obviously, I'm just using made up numbers here, but you will enter your actual social security number. You will print, sign, date, and give it to the person who requested the form. So that's how you will complete the form W-9 as a sole proprietorship. Now let's cover scenario number 2, which is for single member LLC which is also known as a disregarded entity. You are 100% owner of the LLC that you created, and this scenario will be applicable under that case. You will enter name of the business, name of the LLC. If you have obtained any kind of fictitious name or doing business as, you will enter that here. For now, let's assume that you have not obtained, so we'll leave that part empty. Now, line 3A is a bit tricky for disregarded entity. You will not want to check the box that says LLC. As if you read the instruction here, it says if you are a disregarded entity, you should check the appropriate box for the tax classification of its owner. So if you as an individual are 100% owner of that LLC, then you will simply check the box that says individual or sole proprietor. If the LLC is owned by any corporation, then you will check that box. But in most cases, the disregarded entity is usually owned by individuals, so we'll check the box that says individual sole proprietor. Nothing to enter on line 3B or line 4. Line 5, you will enter your address. Line 7, you can leave that empty. Again, if you have an LLC, you must have had obtained an employer ID number, and that's what you will enter here. You will print, sign the form, date the form, and give it to the person or entity that requested it. Again, so for a disregarded entity, you will enter the name of that LLC, check the box of the owner of that LLC. Let's assume that the owner is an individual, and we check the box for that. You want to enter the address. And federal ID number. And that's it for that one. Now, under scenario 3, we're going to complete the form for a partnership, which includes LLCs that are being taxed as a partnership. Let's open a new copy of Form W-9. And if you have obtained a DBA, you will enter that DBA here. Let's assume that you have not obtained the DBA. Now, under line 3A, again, you see the partnership box here, but since in our case, we are an LLC, so we're going to check the box for LLC. And under this box, we're going to select P for partnership, as since our LLC is being taxed as a partnership. Now, if you're just a straight up partnership, then you will simply select the box that says partnership here. Line 3A is applicable under partnership or LLC that has checked the box and entered P here as a partnership. This is applicable for you if you are being taxed as a partnership and you are providing this form to another partnership or a trust or a state in which you are a partner. If that's the case, then line 3B, you will check this box. If that is not the case, then you will leave this box unchecked. So make sure you find out the appropriate tax classification of the company that you're partnering, consulting with, and then check the box appropriately. Under line 5, line for the address, you will have to enter the federal ID number of the partnership, print the form, sign and date, and give it to the company that has requested this form. So again, this is for a partnership. You will want to enter the name of the business. If it's straight up partnership, meaning it's not an LLC being taxed as a partnership, but just a regular partnership, then you want to check the box for partnership here. Or if it's an LLC, you check the box here that is being taxed as a partnership, then you enter P here. Address, federal ID number, sign, and date. Scenario 4 is for an S corporation, including LLCs that are being taxed as an S corporation. Let's get a brand new copy of Form W-9. Enter the name of the business here. If you obtained a DBA, you will enter that here. Under line 3A, since this is an S corporation, we'll check the box that says S corporation. If you are, for example, an LLC that has taxed to be an S corporation, then under line 3A, instead of checking the box up here, you'll check the box for LLC and enter S in this box. You want to enter the address here. And you will enter the federal ID number, print the form, sign and date, and give it to the person who requested it. Again, this is for an S corporation. Name, if you have a DBA, enter the DBA here. If you are just a corporation that is taxed as an S corporation, you also want to simply select this box here. Or if you are an LLC that is taxed as an S corporation, then you want to select the box for LLC and enter S here. Address, federal ID, sign and date. Now, scenario 5 is if you are a C corporation. Again, we'll enter the name of the business here. If you have a DBA, you enter that here. Under line 3A, you'll check the box that says C corporation. You're going to enter the address. And enter your federal ID number. Print, sign date, and give it to the person who requested it. Again, this is for a C corporation. You'll start with the name of the entity. If you have a DBA, you'll enter that here. Under line A, check the box for C corporation. If you are an LLC that is being checked, that is being taxed as a C corporation, and rather than checking the box up here, you'll simply check the box for LLC here and enter C in this box to indicate that you are an LLC being taxed as a C corporation. Address, federal ID number, sign and date. I hope this information is helpful in completing Form W-9 in your situation. Again, we cover all 5 of these scenarios, and in almost all cases, one of the scenarios will be applicable to you. If you have any further questions about this video, you can always feel free to contact me via email. My contact information is on your screen. And as always, if you found the information here useful, please like and subscribe to my to this video and my channel, and also don't forget to share with somebody who can find some help from these videos. As always, until next time, take care and bye bye.